Welcome back to the Smart Self-Storage mini podcast series. I'm your host today, John. Today we're talking about the dynamics of self-storage. Joining me today are two of our self-storage facility managers.
Hi, I'm Sandy McDowell. I'm from Chino Hills Self-Storage.
And I'm Stephanie. I'm from Lakewood Self-Storage.
So let's jump right in. When people think storage, they normally think about the physical space, but let's think about it in the head space. We're fortunate to live in a time right now where we're very item rich, but we unfortunately have houses that aren't made for storing all these items. So why do you think that so many of these items carry such an emotional weight for us?
John, that's a really great question. You talk about headspace. We already have a full busy schedule. When we come home at night, we want to walk into a place that feels like sanctuary, a place where we can just shut down our mind and enjoy our safe space. When you've already put in a busy day and you've walked into your place that you hope to be your safe space, and you have all this clutter around you of items that you want to keep, you don't want to get rid of, but yet it's just taking up so much of your emotional thoughts, your emotional well-being. That's where storage comes into play really well. You can extend your space from your home or your apartment, which these places are getting smaller these days, and utilize storage to take those items that you're not ready to get rid of and make an extension from your home in a storage unit. It does two things. It declutters your home, which are smaller these days, but it also, more importantly, declutters your mind. It gives you a great peace of mind that allows you to create that space, that safe space that you want in your sanctuary after you come home from a busy day.
Exactly. And it really does help with this modern stuff pressure that we do have, where we're inheriting stuff from our parents while also collecting our own stuff, because it's so easy to buy stuff and collect on our own. And a storage unit really does allow us to have some breathing room to organize, have a place to put things where it's not exactly going to clutter up our house, and hold on to things or eventually declutter.
Just about every day, somebody will walk into my office that are so stressed out about they just don't have enough room. And that I get excited about it because I can explain to them how well a storage unit can be utilized in order for them to gain that space. I have had numerous customers come back who have actually rented units and done exactly that, declutter their home so they can have a peace of mind. They've returned and said it's changed their life at home for the better.
Sandy, that's a really good point, but let's go back to something Stephanie said really fast.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of inheriting items from your parents, things like having a baby, moving, renovating, these are all really big life transitions. But as we all know, storage is rarely planned.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Storage is rarely planned, but it is the best solution for these transitional periods in a person's life. You've touched on a few of them. Let me add a couple more. You may have a couple that's getting married, but they both have their own homes. So they're going to be consolidating into one home, but they're not willing to get rid of some of their things. It's a perfect solution for them to get a storage unit together. Take some of their things from their homes, put it in storage unit, consolidate their life into one home, and determine what works and what doesn't work for both of them in their new home. You touched on our elderly. We have every day we face where people come in and they've lost a mother or father or both, and they have to vacate their parents' home or their apartment, whatever it may be. They're not ready to deal with the emotional attachment, but they have to vacate that home or apartment. It's an excellent solution for them to get those items moved into a storage unit. And when they're through the heavy part of grieving, they know that those items are safely kept in a storage unit so that when they are ready to declutter those items or keep some of those items in the storage unit, then they can come to the storage facility and do it at their own time, at a time where their emotional state of mind is ready. So you are right. There's different transitions in people's lives, but it's pretty amazing how a storage unit can work for almost all those transitional events in a person's life.
Oh, and don't forget our military personnel.
Yes.
And digital nomads, people who travel for a living,
Oh, yes.
Blogging and all that. Storage becomes a great solution for that because it's easy to get, quick, accessible, and they can store all that stuff while they're gone for a year or so.
Yes.
Stephanie, that's a really good point. I've started thinking of storage as a physical pause button. It lets you step back from the chaos. how does that pause button help people make better decisions?
Well, John, when people are stressed out, they generally make impulsive decisions. And those impulsive decisions are usually regretted. That's where storage unit is excellent for. Those decisions that they really shouldn't be making in a stressful mindset, they can put those items into a storage unit, step back, take a breather, prioritize, and then that helps them to make a better decision.
Right. And you don't have to throw everything away. So a storage unit really gives you that room to think about it before you do something you might regret.
Yes. You know, and let's talk about the holidays. Holidays are incredibly stressful. We don't want them to be stressful, but they are. Storage units are perfect for that. I have many customers who simply store their holiday items throughout the year. They know exactly where they are. They know they come and get them at each holiday event. They're happier because they know where everything is. And when it's over, they know they can come right back and put it back in. So it really does alleviate the stress of the holidays as well. That's just one of the scenarios of why storage units are helpful to keep the state of mind in a really good emotional place.
That's really interesting. Can you share a story of a customer that used your storage to help them declutter their life?
Well, I'm sure Stephanie will agree. We have many stories. There's always many different types of situations. But I'll give you one example. This one always sticks in my mind. An elderly gentleman came into the to our office, and he didn't know what to do. He never stored before, but he and his wife really wanted to declutter their lives in the third chapter of their life. He said, "We're literally stepping over boxes. We don't feel like we're enjoying our home anymore." But yet he couldn't really put in two words what he needed. So I knew that I had to take over for this gentleman, and I said, "Let me ask the questions, and we're going to get you a solution." So just by me saying those words, he calmed down instantly. I went out, I showed him units, I got a feel of what he needed, um, and I explained to him how he could achieve that by first removing anything and everything that they're stepping over, removing anything and everything that they don't utilize on a daily basis. I helped this man from start to finish achieve that. So that's exactly what he did. He rented a U-Haul, rented, hired movers, took my advice, did exactly what I told him. We got him into a storage unit. A few days later, he literally came back to my office with tears in his eyes, stating that I helped them to get their life back, and that the third trimester of their life has literally brought peace into their life. He said the best decision he ever did was to come and rent this storage unit. And I'm sure Stephanie has similar situations as well.
For me, I had a customer that actually had a small business that they were building and very successful. But the inventory was basically taking over their home, living room, garage,
Yes.
their car. Showed up one day to our facility. We got them into a unit. They were able to kind of make it into a warehouse. So they were able to regain their living space while also have a much easier system for their inventory. So it worked out really well.
Yeah, and these are just a couple of situations. There's many more stories of why and how storage units can help so many different situations.
Those are some great stories. Now let's do some rapid fire questions.
Okay?
Lightning round, quick answers only. First question, store it or toss it. What's your general rule of
If
thumb?
you stored it for a year, no sentimental value, toss it.
If you're not sure, store it for 90 days. By day 90, you'll know what to do.
Good answers. Second question, Sandy, what is the single biggest packing mistake you see?
Oh, label the side of the boxes, not the top.
Fair enough. Stephanie, third question, how do you avoid the out of sight, out of mind trap?
You want to treat your unit as a library, not like a graveyard. You should want to visit at least once a month and revisit your items.
Thank you for those answers. Those were really great. To summarize everything we talked about today, your home should be a place for living, not just for storing. A huge thank you to our managers for joining us today and sharing your wisdom.
Of course, John. And remember this, storage isn't a place where things go to be forgotten. It's a place where you go to get your life back.
And if you're feeling that suffocating weight of your stuff, come visit us at our smart self-storage locations. We can help you find that breathing room.
Perfect. Thank you for joining us today, and see you next time.